Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about how to make placement ready beats. A lot of times we hear beats where producers are just putting a whole bunch of stuff in the beats, a whole bunch of tricks, a whole bunch of different change ups and all that good stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, beats like those are only beats that producers like. But if you want to make a beat that an artist is going to really like, then what you want to kind of do is dial back a lot of those tricks in there, a lot of the extra sounds and stuff like that. You want to make it pretty simple and straightforward. You do still want it to have a good bounce, you still want it to have a good vibe, but you don't want to add too much to it. That's really the difference between beats that impress producers and beats that impress artists. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a beat that will impress an artist and hopefully help you get a placement. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The key to a simple beat is just keeping it simple. So what I'm going to do is, first thing, I'm going to open up Flex here, and I'm going to grab my dark tone piano. Now, it's really a closed grand that I kind of did a little bit of editing too, but it is a dark grand. It just sounds like this. And I'm going to take my tempo here. I'm going to take it up to 165. It's going to be a fast tempo, but the instrumental itself is going to sound slow. Now I'm going to lay down some chords on the piano. Easy, simple, straightforward chords, and I'll bring these up so you can see what I played. And now we'll just lay our bass notes down, and our bass chords are our bass notes are gonna be C, F, C, F, and G. Shift, click, and then we're gonna control down. All right, so let's make these chords a little bit more lively. Let's give them a little bit more movement. And what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is just cut up some of the notes that are already in the chords here. I'm not going to add anything to it just yet. I'm just going to cut it up. So let's get into that. Go to my cut tool, and what I hear is, if I cut right here, let's say maybe about right here, see what this sounds like. Just repeat it. And now we can kind of do some filler chords or notes by adding more notes. So let's say something like this. And I'm hearing sort of a walk down here. Let's see what we get. Cut this or bring this back. And see, this is just a note that's right in there. I'm just shortening that note up. You know, it's still a note that's in the chord there. I'm kind of humming what I want to hear, so let's go. I like that. Boom. Simple, easy. I don't want to add anything else to that piano. The only thing I want to do now is just a little bit of mixing to it. So I'm going to send that to my first mixer track on the mixer. And then the first thing I'm going to add to it is a little bit of EQ. Just kind of clean it up some. And kind of boost it up here. Boost it here, get it a little warmer. And that I didn't make any big tweaks, but if you listen to it, it is a big difference. So it's before. And here's the after. It just kind of cleans it up some. It kind of brings out the presence and the warmth of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add this delay. I'm going to cut this volume down on it first. And this is just going to control how much of it that we hear after, like how much of it keeps going on. And the dry volume is going to be how much of the delay we hear versus, or the wet signal we hear versus the dry signal. And then, of course, the time is going to be what that delay is going to be timed as. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that down here. And then I think I want to put it at 2. And now if you watch any of my other videos, you know that I tend to take the knob here and blend it in this way instead of blending it in with the wet and dry knob here. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's just going to give us a little bit more bounce before the delay. Let's go ahead and put a chorus up here. I'm going to cut the delay off just for now. I'm going to add a chorus on there, fruity chorus. Let's go ahead and there's a preset that they already have here called poly chorus. And I'm going to use that preset. I'm going to cut the wet only on and then blend it in this way. And this is going to widen that piano out a little bit. Cut that delay back on. And now we're going to add our reverb. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually cut this dry knob all the way down, the early reflection up some. I'm going to hit Alt, scroll over on the wet knob and just scroll it all the way up, and let's cut this damp down. And this is just a starting point for us, right? What I want to do is I want to blend it in just the same way that I did with the delay. So without any further ado, let's do that. Sounds good to me. And that's all I want to do to that piano. Now that we got our piano down, we want to move over to our next instrument. All right, so I found this preset in Harmless. It's called Bach Pad Nuck, or BOC Pad NUC, and it's just in the regular pads. I did do a few adjustments to it by cutting this frequency down, and I changed this to pedestal, and then I also brought the attack down on this. And then I also brought the sub up just a little bit, and these just to kind of change the settings there. And this is also a way that you can kind of create a new sound out of an existing sound. If you don't want to lose that sound, then you just save this preset, or save this as a preset by going to save and then save preset as, and name it whatever you want. But anyway, we're going to get past that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay down these chords, the exact same chords that I have in the piano. I'm just going to lay them down again, just without playing the extra notes into the pad. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I want this to sound wider. So I'm going to take these middle notes here and these top notes, some of these middle notes, some of these top notes. I'm just going to do randomly, and I'm going to bring them up an octave, and then I'm going to bring all the ones here down an octave and see if that opens up. No, I'm not going to bring that up, and I'm going to copy these an octave, and we get. And this is one of those sounds that's going to kind of sit behind everything, so it doesn't have to be too loud. What I am going to do is I'm going to send that to my next mixer channel, or my next mixer track, and then I'm going to bring up the EQ, and we're going to cut out a lot of the lows here. So go to here, I'm going to do this. That's it. That's going to play under everything. And once we get to mixing everything, then you'll hear how that lays in. I'm also going to pan that to the right a little bit. So take this knob here and just pan it to the right just a little bit. And then the next thing I want to do also is I want to add some more reverb to this just to give it a bigger space. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is add a vocal to this. And now I'm over in the FL Cloud here. I found this one vocal. What I did was I did the filters. I went to loops, vocals, hip hop, and R&B, and that's the one that it came up. Well, it's the second page, I do believe, or first page. Not quite sure, but this is the name of it right here. This is the vocal that I like. And since I don't actually own a subscription to the cloud, what I like to do is I like to use Edison. This is like a hack that if you don't know this hack, you know this hack. If you don't know this hack, now you do know this hack. I'm just going to record that vocal. I already got it set to the key of C. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit record, and then I'm just going to hit play on it.
I got it bad, 'cause the way you're looking at me keeps driving me mad.
All right, and now that I have that recorded, I'm going to trim it up real good. Control, delete. It's going to trim it up there. Let's normalize it, and now we can just drag it right out into our playlist. Next thing I want to do is I want to take the actual pattern itself and put it also in the playlist, and let's get everything on time. Now that I have that vocal on beat, I only really want a little part of it, and it's just this part right back here where it starts. So I'm going to cut that out.
But I can't even sleep when you're next to me. Oh.
Now that vocal is very loud, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to its mixer track as well, and then we're going to actually normalize this. And I want to bring that stretch pro on, and we'll bring it up a few, see what that sounds like. And over on the mixer track, I'm just going to cut it down some. Move it back a little bit. It's a little off beat. Let's go ahead and add some EQ onto this, just kind of clean it up, and I want to sit it in a very certain place. So I'm going to do this, and let's clean this in. All right, and it's got a lot of breaths in there. So normally we would take a gate or something, put on there. Well, that's what I would normally do. So I'm going to take a gate. I'm going to find a fruity limiter. And on the fruity limiter, we have this noise gate here. I'm gonna activate that by turning the threshold up, and we're gonna run it through, and we'll just kind of dip out some of those breaths that we got. And after the limiter, we're going to put on a delay. I think I want to cut this part out. And just keep the butt eye. And put another one right here. Maybe even stretch them just a little bit more. I'm going to cut this up because it's still off beat. Like, it's not completely on beat. I'm going to cut this up some. Make this unique. And I'm going to stretch just this one here. Next thing we want to do is kind of add a little bit more sauce to it, maybe a counter melody to go with it. The next thing I did to add a little bit more sauce and a little bit more flavor was I added this palm mute, and it's just a direct wave that's in FL Studio, single note palm mute. Just kind of found it by typing in palm mute. So you have it there in FL Studio if you just search for it. But what I did with that palm mute, I actually just copied the notes from the piano, and then I shortened them all just to make it like a shorter palm mute sound. And then in my mixer, what I did was I brought up hardcore, and I put this preset on, and I adjusted the distortion just a little bit, and then I added this EQ onto it just to kind of clean it up a little bit more as well. And then all I did was just brought it down and panned it to the left some, and now this is what it sounds like. And I think from there, it's time to add the drums. So let's get right into it. All of the drums that I'm going to be using is coming from my Jooce box kit. First things first, let's go ahead and get a clap. Let's find ourselves a clap. We'll right click, open a new channel. Go ahead and send it to our mixer track. And I'm going to go here, go inside the pattern, and let's lay that down. What you can do is take this, highlight just that first section, and then Control B. Let's get a counter snare to go with that. I like that one. Open a new channel, send it to the mixer track. Take this whole section here, highlight it, Control B, and we'll add one more here. Let's find the hi-hat. Control L, send it to the track, the mixer track. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into this hi-hat, but on my channel rack right here, I'm going to just go right click and I'm going to fill each two-step. Something that I like to do instead of that is I'll fill each four-step. And I'm not gonna do any kind of tricks or anything with the hi-hat. I'm just gonna do a straight beat with it. So what I like to do is go into it, highlight all of these, and then move them over just one, and then we'll cut these down, and now we got that bounce. I might put a roll here. Let's see. Let's bring it down a few. I think I might add a roll here too. So let's open this up. We'll go Alt U and accept. Yeah. Just kind of threw that a little bit off beat, and that's the hi-hat. Very simple, very easy. Let's go ahead and add that open hi-hat. I like this one here. So open a new channel. Now what we got to do with our hi-hat is on this hi-hat we want it to cut itself, so 6 by 6. On this hi-hat we want it to be cut by 6, so we'll go 7 by 6. Whenever the open hi-hat hits and the closed hi-hat hits, after it's gonna shorten that closed hi-hat, or that it's gonna shorten that open hi-hat. And just repeat that. Let's add the 808, because I know you guys are ready to hear the 808. I'm always ready for the 808. I think I want to go with this one. Let's see. Maybe we'll go with this one. Ha! Normalize. I'm gonna hit stretch on those. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to mixer track 9, and let's get into them. Repeat these because it's basically the same thing. Bring these down. Go ahead and cut them up. We'll actually change this back to doom, doom, doom. So we'll do the same thing here. We go. Wait a minute. Okay, that's hard. All right, next thing I want to do is just add the kick to go with it. So let's find a good kick. I think we can hear this a little bit better on there, so we'll go with this one. Send it to the mixer track, and now let's copy this. So Control C, then we'll go to Juice Box Kick 11, Control V, Alt K. Then we're gonna go. Well, I think we got it there. All right, so I don't think that's going to be the kick. Let's try this kick 12. Yeah. And we'll add a few extra hits in with the kick here. That is really all you need. Now, of course, you can add some effects and some transitions and whatnot, but this is just the basics of making a very simple and straightforward beat. You don't need too much, and it gives a lot of space for the artist to do their thing. You can also bring some things in, take some things out, and just arrange that how you like it arranged. But hopefully this helped you realize that, you know, it doesn't take much to make a beat and to make one for an artist that an artist is going to love. And it also adds some good bounce. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.